GM, and welcome to another edition of In the Sheets with DappaDan, or as the internet has properly renamed, Dube Deep Dives. I wish I was better at marketing. In this episode, we're actually going to take a look at... Hold on. Something seemed a little bit off to you? That's better. We're going to look at the documentation of a line layer. If you remember from the last episode, a line layer, we had a brief cameo where we talked about examples of eigenlayer AVSs. But let's be honest, it really deserves its own time in the spotlight. One of the things I mentioned with a line layer is it provides fast and cheap verifications of ZK proofs. But if you're anything like me, when you hear words fast and cheap, red flags get raised. Because it sounds almost like too good to be true. Sort of like when door-to-door salesmen come around selling hopes and dreams and empty promises to you. Who's at the door, Ma?
The man selling fast and cheap ZK verifications.
What? I'm busy registering for a hackathon, okay? Tell them I'm not here.
Okay, I love you.
Yeah, love you too, Ma. Okay, Lambda Hack Week, July 6th through 9th. Oh, Brussels. I'm there, Brussels. So let's really get down to the bottom of how Align can make these promises and actually deliver on them. But before we do that, let's discuss what problem Align is actually trying to solve. And what better way to do that, but with a little story time. So there once was a Dan who had struggled sleeping at night. See, this Dan wanted to live out his ZK dreams. But the realities of building ZK apps was keeping him up at night, like someone poking him in his sleep. Building ZK apps was just too expensive to do on chain. There's different proving systems could cost $250,000 to over $1 million in gas just to run. And this Dan did not have those kind of funds. He was also worried about what new programming languages he might have to learn. You see, this Dan actually learned Rust when everyone decided it was cool to learn Rust. What new languages did he need to learn next? He also had a lot of anxiety about the future of ZK. Everyone agrees that ZK is the end game, but who those players are in the game of proving systems is still unclear. Is it Groth? Is it Plonk? Is it SP1? Is it a Halo 2? Or something completely different? Nobody wants to make the wrong decision and wants the future go by. But one night, when he turned off the lights to go to bed, suddenly a new light appeared. The aligned light. It's beautiful. And this changed everything. The Dan was able to live his dreams of building ZK apps and sleeping well. The end. That's it. Oh, you wanted to know how aligned works? Okay, let's do this. To tell the story of Align, we must start with our friend Lil Miss ZK Proof. If this is your first time meeting our friend, what she represents is proof that some sort of computation has been completed without giving the details of that computation. My favorite example of this is to prove that you have the recipe for the world's best cake. You just bake the cake and give it to me rather than telling me the actual recipe. This keeps your amazing recipe private and my tummy filled with delicious cake. In order to verify your great cake recipe, we need someone to taste this many different times to make sure it's the right one. In technical terms, this is the verification of the proof, which traditionally was a slow and costly process because of the amount of computation needed to do this. But let's send our friend, Miss Proof, off to Align to see that all those concerns of cost and time have gone away. See you later. The first stop for our friend Miss Proof is to the batcher service. The batcher service, as the name says, collects the proofs from multiple users. We can send proofs using the Align, CLI, or SDK. So that Miss Proof doesn't get lonely, we can send multiple proofs to Align at once. This batching process goes on typically for 1 to 3 Ethereum blocks. From there, Miss Proof and her new friends are stored in a Merkle tree and uploaded to the data service. Behind the scenes, an AVS operator downloads the proofs from the data service, validates the proofs, and works with a signature aggregator to verify the signatures on Ethereum. We can check on Miss Proof after these blocks are completed that she has been verified using the CLI. If we need to reference this proof in our Solidity code, we can use an isVerified function to pass in the proof verification data we have received. This is the fast and cheap verification we've all been waiting for. Aligned also has an additional mode called aggregation mode. This mode works with proof aggregation of proofs with higher fees and latency and delivers the complete security of Ethereum. In this case, Miss Proof and the other proofs are collected together from a data availability layer. A general prover generates a proof of the verification of all the proofs. This is done by first using a wrapper for different proof types and then aggregating those proofs using recursive verification, or proofs of proofs. This shrinks the proof size down significantly so that in the last step, the proof can be posted to Ethereum. But now that we know how Aligned works, what can we do in this world of cheap and fast proof verification? Let's take a look. So we can get faster bridging across different chains, soft finality for app chains or rollups, verifiable machine learning for better visibility in the computation of these models. We can even power on-chain gaming or P2P networks based on snarks. But listen, I'm just an average Dan, and I'm also just reading from the docs page of use cases. But yet yes, you're something special. And you can build a completely new ZK app or use case we've never even seen before. And your chance to do that is here at the Lambda Hack Week from July 6th to the 9th in Brussels. Link is below for more information on how to register. And rumor has it, all attendees get a free selfie with Fede. Shh, you didn't hear that from me. Well, that's it for me today, but I'm gonna leave you with one last nugget of knowledge, and that is that the team at Align is supporting creators. They actually helped and supported me in making this video. So if you're a creator, go ahead and contact the team or meet them at ETC to make some great content magic. Well, GN.